You won't believe what's happening behind the scenes of this dramatic drama. But wait a minute, did Rasheeda really lose it over Kirk Frost's most recent startling scandal? Oh yeah, Kendra is the plot intensifies when young Jock, who has already had too much on his plate, loses his mind completely while pregnant. And guess who's the baby daddy, Kirk? Is this an emotional breakdown, breakup, or the most dramatic reality TV program in the world actually happening? But wait, is this really Rasheeda and Kirk's marriage ending? Is Kendra manipulating strings behind the scenes, like a puppet master? And where in the world is young Jock in all of this? Is he in a hospital bed having an emotional breakdown? Or is there something more significant going on that we are unaware of, even know about it? So you must be wondering right now if this is the ultimate betrayal, or if Kirk is simply being given another opportunity to cause trouble and confuse matters more for Rasheeda. And let's not even discuss the rest of the drama. Trust me, this gets much more intense. Hold on tight, because what you're about to hear is a scandal of a lifetime, everyone. If you thought Rasheeda and Kirk Frost's marriage was finally stable, get your popcorn, because what we've got here is a catastrophe that may match even the most juicy of soap operas after everything they've endured. But no, not today, not with Kendra, the lady who completely upended everything. And guess what? Kirk Frost, the man who vowed he was after clearing his mess, he showed up with some shocking news. Kendra is expecting, and Kirk is the one who supposedly knocked her up. Can you picture Rasheeda's reaction? Expression when she learned, am I correct in saying that it was a bombshell? Let's go back a little, because this incident wasn't unexpected. Rasheeda and Kirk have experienced their share of drama over the years. We all believe that the worst was over because of his previous infidelity and their troubled marriage. But suddenly Kendra appears out of nowhere like a plot surprise that nobody anticipated. And she says Rasheeda's entire world is upended once more when she finds out she is expecting Kirk's child. We all know she has always been a queen, but this seems like the last straw, doesn't it? But hold on, the plot thickens. What's even more astounding is how all of this occurs at the same time as Rasheeda is attempting to stitch together the ruins of her marriage while balancing her emotions. Young Jock is Jock, who has been going through enough turmoil of his own, allegedly began an affair with Kendra while Kirk was still attempting to reconcile with his wife. We've only just begun, and the situation is getting out of hand faster than a storm in a trailer park. Let's take a moment to discuss Kendra. Who is she? According to some unnamed sources, Kendra is a desperate woman who wants to avenge Rasheeda by showing off her pregnancy. Or is there something much darker going on here? Furthermore, neither Rasheeda nor the general public were aware of Kirk's affair, which was not simply a one-night fling but rather a continuing one. Could this indicate that Kendra has been living in the it clearly appears that the shadows are anxiously waiting for the opportunity to dump this bomb on Rasheeda and completely upend her world? And let's not forget about Kirk, a mature man who has previously been involved in numerous controversies, but he still makes dubious choices. Is he attempting to ruin his own marriage, or is there a more cunning game at play here? Kirk has always been known for his inability to fulfill agreements. So what does Kendra's pregnancy say about his intentions now that it hangs over him like a threatening cloud? Was he ever genuinely interested in Rasheeda, or has their marriage been a series of calculated actions meant to keep him in the spotlight and attract attention all the time? Let's add a bit more fuel to the fire. On this fire, because the next turn of events is unexpected. Rasheeda, saddened and enraged, confronts Kirk about the pregnancy, and believe me, things didn't turn out the way you might have expected. Kirk attempted to downplay it, but as we all know, Rasheeda isn't the kind of lady who takes things lying down. Can you picture her expression when she found she had been played throughout? And with the news of her pregnancy hovering over her head, she begins to doubt everything. Her marriage, her friendship with Kirk, and the foundation they've established. Together, it's about more than just a pregnancy. It's about betrayal, trust, and years of emotional commitment that feel worthless all of a sudden. But things are about to get much worse. Problematic because As Rasheeda is still in shock by Kirk's betrayal, her young Jock, who we've previously seen being caught up in the issue, isn't just watching helplessly. This man has absolutely lost his mind, and Jock is only adding gasoline to the fire. I mean, how much drama can one person handle before losing it? Keep watching because what comes next is we're just getting started. So let's go on to the next section. Right now, Rasheeda is in complete breakdown mode after learning that Kirk Frost, the man she believed to be her rock, is involved in a full-fledged affair with Kendra, and I must say that Kirk's attempt to minimize the whole issue was pitiful. But what else is there to do after you've been exposed for such a major lie, Kirk? Pretended that this was a small incident, as if he hadn't destroyed all they had worked so hard to build over the years. This is ridiculous, but we're talking with a man who has continuously made poor decisions. Do we really think he will take responsibility for his errors? After all, this is the same man who first believed that cheating was a great idea. Let's talk to Kendra about it. As everyone knows, Kendra isn't the kind to keep things low-key. Instead, she's constantly waiting for the ideal opportunity to blow things up and cause mayhem. But this takes things a step too far. To a whole new level, Kendra, who is purportedly Rasheeda's friend, has been having a covert affair with Kirk for months, if not longer. If you ask me, Kendra is innocent in this situation. You can't claim that Kendra didn't have a plan. She's been playing the long game, waiting for the ideal opportunity to break the news to me. She knew exactly what she was doing. Atom bomb, but the real question is, what did she want to get out of all of this? Was it the baby? Something more profound? Kirk's money? Or perhaps just retribution? There is a completely different perspective on the story and her young Jock, even if Rasheeda was going crazy trying to figure out how to get through this mess. Although this man is accustomed to drama, Jock may have gone above and beyond this time. Keep in mind that Jock and Kendra once dated, but that isn't the main focus of this discussion. Will astound you. It appears that Jock was aware of Kirk and Kendra's covert relationship from the beginning. Yes, you heard correctly. Jock had all the tea and was simply sitting on it, observing everything unfold. Is it possible that Jock was simply waiting for the right opportunity to make this public? Was he expecting it would spark the year's biggest scandal? It becomes even more juicy because, wow, young Jock is supposedly playing both sides of this issue, saying he has no knowledge what's happening between Kirk and Kendra, while Rasheeda is descending into emotional turmoil. According to insiders close to him, Jock was truly involved in the entire affair. That's correct. Jock and Kendra were reportedly more than just buddies. I don't know about you, but this seems like a full-blown love triangle, or perhaps I should say a web of lies, treachery, and deceit, and his involvement goes far further than he's letting on. The true question is, how much of Jock's involvement does he and Kendra actually have? Did they have a plan to destroy Kirk and Rasheeda from the inside out, or is this all just a big game to them? Let's stop there and discuss the chronology of events. As Rasheeda endures the consequences of Kirk's infidelity and Kendra's pregnancy announcement, it turns out that young Jock was conveniently, and we've watched Jock go through some difficult moments at the hospital. But this time there's a twist. According to reports, Jock was admitted following a mental breakdown, but the timing of everything about the hospital is quite suspect. Could he have been trying to flee the havoc he helped cause, or was there anything more sinister going on behind the scenes? While Rasheeda is out here battling for her marriage, she is emotionally torn by the realization that Jock may have been keeping quiet because he knew the storm was coming. Even if her husband may be the biological father of her child, Kendra isn't exactly making things easy for anyone by flaunting her pregnancy and letting everyone know it. Rasheeda is trying everything she can to maintain her composure, as if she's won some kind of strange reward. Just think about what it would be like to be your husband, who Rasheeda, who has been the epitome of strength, is now the father of another woman's child, and it's all coming out in the most public way possible. However, who made the public's response to all of this is absolutely ridiculous, but don't blame her for breaking down. It's one betrayal after another, and the strain is enough to destroy even the hardest of individuals. After years of scrutiny, Rasheeda's marriage is suddenly falling apart in front of millions of people. While some fans are rooting for her, others are supporting her as she defends her family, while others disparage Kirk, calling him a manipulator, liar, cheater, and let's not even discuss Kendra, whom the public finds incomprehensible. Determine whether they are referring to her as a victim or a homewrecker. It's like a verbal battle with Rasheeda in the midst, attempting to remain resilient as the world watches her fall apart. What comes next? Will Kendra's pregnancy be the last straw for Rasheeda and Kirk's marriage? Or will Rasheeda choose to support her partner once more? And let's not forget about Jock. Will Jay survive this, or is this the time he finally loses it all? He has been at the center of all this drama with the hospital controversy and his alleged role in Kendra's affair. There is more to this scandal than meets the eye, and you don't want to miss it. So you'll need to pay attention because, as strange as this is, the next part of the story might blow your mind. Stay tuned for part 3, as we'll be delving deeply into the ramifications from this affair, the public's reaction, and what comes next. Let's now discuss the aftermath of this entire spectacular dilemma, because the repercussions for Kirk, Frost, Rasheeda, and all parties involved don't stop with Kendra's pregnancy announcement and the controversy surrounding her infidelity are going to have to cope with, and believe me, this fallout will strike like a ton of bricks. Let's start by discussing the legal ramifications of everything that has transpired, which did you think this issue would remain purely personal? Well, it's getting real now. Kirk's alleged affair with Kendra might cause him a lot of problems. Just think of the emotional with the financial consequences Rasheeda is dealing with. Kirk might be worrying right now about whether his adultery would cost him more than just his marriage. It also cost him his family business, which Rasheeda owns. Been discreetly managing their joint ventures, and if she feels sufficiently deceived, she may just seize her money and leave. Additionally, Kirk's actions may expose him to don't assume that Rasheeda won't take this to court if necessary. She has been faithful, but when someone crosses the line this severely, it might very well result in alimony, child support, and perhaps a lawsuit. If Kendra's child turns out to be Kirk's, it might be the end of their empire and a severe hit to his finances and prestige. We also need to think about the public outcry. Rasheeda has long been a symbol of strength, but a human can only withstand so many blows before breaking. So even while Kirk may be attempting to brush this off as a small error and say he's only since Rasheeda is as popular as she is, the public's sympathy is ferocious, and they are quick to criticize Kirk, calling him everything from weak to selfish to dog. Her admirers are undoubtedly on her side and are prepared to pull Kirk to the bottom of the social media abyss. I'm not just referring about online remarks. People are also discussing Kirk's potential. Could we see him embark on a public apology tour? He might even do a complete section on TV where he finally comes clean and tells the truth. It would be a train crash, but people will undoubtedly be watching. Nobody wants to miss a reality TV star's demise, particularly if they've been involved in a scandal like this. However, as the narrative develops, the entire controversy is becoming young Jock's role in all of this goes much beyond simply being a bystander. He has been connected to Kendra for years, and there are whispers that suggest something more serious than a failed love triangle. That Jock might have been involved in the entire thing from the beginning. You read correctly. Jock might have been using this whole mess to undermine Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage from within. Since he has been playing the good guy for years, it turns out that he may have been involved in this all along. After all, we're talking about a man who is no stranger to drama. Jock is attempting to establish himself as the man of the moment, prepared to step in and take up Rasheeda's wounded heart by hoping that Kendra and Kirk will split up so he can step in. It may sound a little dramatic, but after working in the entertainment business for as long as these people, you begin to understand that nothing is ever as easy as it seems. Jock might have been trying to worm his way into Rasheeda's life while Kirk was elsewhere, or he might have been manipulating the entire situation to get closer to her. Has a history of playing with drama, and this might be his grand scheme to take center stage. Whether it's true or not, The notion that Jock is somehow connected to all of this chaos adds extra layer of controversy that people simply cannot ignore. Now, let's take a time to talk about Kendra. She has been extremely silent, but she has also handled everything very strategically. Here's what we remember: that Kendra has been publicly displaying her pregnancy by sharing images on social media and informing everyone that she is expecting Kirk's child. But the timing of it all was, some people believe that Kendra's pregnancy was a shrewd move, but could it be that she was aware of Kirk's shortcomings and took advantage of them, attempting to lock Kirk down with this baby? But consider this: she has a growing baby bump and is currently in the public eye. If she plays her cards correctly, Kendra might become the next great thing in the reality TV drama. But will Kendra come to regret how everything transpired? If Rasheeda and Kirk continue to be together, Kendra might be left out in the cold. If Rasheeda chooses to, Kendra's plan to overthrow Rasheeda might fail, leaving her with nothing except a child and a tumultuous reputation. Was it all worth it to battle for her marriage and start over? After discussing the drama, adultery, heartbreak, and possible legal repercussions, we'll see what happens next for Rasheeda, Kirk, Kendra, and even young Jack. We're still waiting. Will Rasheeda and Kirk be able to save their marriage in that last explosive moment? Or is this the end of an era? Will Kendra's pregnancy be the secret to destroying Kirk and Rasheeda once and for all? For everyone? Or is it merely a part in a much larger scheme? Will Jock be held accountable for his dubious involvement? Or will he escape punishment and carry on manipulating the media as usual? One thing is certain though, this is just the beginning, and you won't want to miss the next chapter of this crazy story. It's drama, treachery, and tragedy at its best, and it's only the beginning. Things are only going to get more dramatic from here, so stay tuned for updates. We also want to hear your comments on this wild disaster that was Kendra's pregnancy. Final step to ruin Rasheeda and Kirk's relationship, or is she merely a piece in a much larger game? Do you believe Kirk can ever save his marriage, or is it a game over for him? Additionally, don't forget about young Jock. Is he the true mastermind behind this entire drama, or is he only a bystander attempting to intervene and exploit a chaotic situation? The plot is getting more complex with every new development. So if you want to be informed about the most recent twists and turns, please hit the like button on this video, subscribe to our channel, and like button the bell so you don't miss any of the drama. What will happen next? Will Rasheeda and Kirk emerge victorious, or will Kendra's covert plan finally be revealed? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Forecasts, and let's continue the discussion since this story is far from coming to a violent conclusion. Don't forget to tell your friends about this. They must be aware of this startling. We'll be right here bringing gossip as well. Keep it locked to get the most recent updates, and watch this space for more astounding discoveries. Till the next time, scandal.